All right, so Kamala Harris decided to concede. That means the election is now officially over, and there's no recounts. There's nothing going on. She has accepted her fate, and that's pretty much it. Trump will be the 47th president, well, actually 47th president of the United States, January 20th, and I couldn't be more happier. But first and foremost, I want to say Carmela did given she only had 4 months to prepare for this campaign. Usually like a campaign is like 2.5 years out before the election. Given that she only had like less than 4 months to actually prepare, she did pretty good. I mean, she did just as good as Hillary in 4 months. Like, that's crazy to me because the only state that she lost, that Kamala lost, was Nevada. Other than that, everything was still the same with Hillary. But given that she only had 4 months, she did really, really good. Like, for real. And it's scary because she almost could have won this election, you guys, like, for real. But, you know, that's not going to stop the Trump train. But so I'll give Kamala Harris that, you know. But I think Joe Biden and them did her a disservice because the economy was fucked up. And then that last job report that came out, I think the economy only added 12,000 jobs. They really pretty much set her up for failure, honestly. But she managed to get Hillary status, you know, and they're pretty much in the same category because Kamala Harris is the vice president. So she did succeed on that end. She is the first female vice president. So I give her that credit. You know, that is the first female vice president. So even though she's a nut and a lunatic, she is the first female black president, if you want to call it. So let's just check this out, and I'll give you my take on it. This is her concession speech. That means the election is officially over.
Good. Good.
Hey, those people cheering for her are scaring me right now because these people live among us, and that's scary to think about.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back.
I hope this is a good speech. I hope it's not
So
the
let
same
me
shit
say,
we've been hearing.
my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
You know, she's starting to sound kind of presidential, though, like for real.
As
Fuck you crying for
long
it.
as we never give up,
Hold
and
on.
as long as we
See, these are some of those peoples. Like, you see that girl crying? Like, these are some scary people, you guys. And they live among us.
keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us.
This is a pretty good speech.
Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld.
She sounded presidential in the speech. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of good.
And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength
I wonder who worked that
to
speech.
lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is... I love you. To the young people who are watching.
You see the close-up of those people, y'all? They're living among us, man. Scary, scary.
It is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win.
Oh, you lost. Man.
The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, this is a pretty good speech. Why couldn't she be this way during her campaign?
You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career, I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their courage be our inspiration. Let their determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service. It's you. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
Vice President.
Now, why could she be like, that's probably the best speech that she had throughout the whole election. Like, for real, for real. She was presidential in her loss, but she is the vice president. But I mean, with her endorsements from Beyonce, Cardi B, Sexy Red, would you vote for somebody like that? She had all those celebrities and still she couldn't win, you know. So, but that's my reaction, you guys. I think we're in a good time. I think Trump's going to do a really good job, and we should definitely have lower gas prices by the summer. So, shouts out to President Trump. I pray for his safety, and I want to thank you guys that went out and voted. No matter who you voted for, but if you voted, you know, I hope you got what you wanted, and just remember, we still in the best country in the world. So, shouts out to President Trump. May God protect President Trump and his family, and God bless America. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.